Good morning. I look like a piece of shit. I'm so sorry. But I'm happy to be here. It is Sunday, September 12th, and my guest today is Hootie Hurley. I'm so excited. I am your hostess with the mostest, Kendall Levin, at the Kendall Levin. You know the whole shebang. If you're new here, welcome. I'm happy to have you. And if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. We've missed you. So yes, let's get started. I don't want to disappoint. You guys are going to be so excited for the interview this week. Literally, probably the best interview I've had. Hootie Hurley is like one of my favorite people ever now. Like he is just so genuine, so authentic, and has such a good head on his shoulders, and is so good looking. It's so refreshing to see like the total package. So I'll get started in just a sec, but I gotta catch you guys up on why I look like this. If you're watching this, if you're not watching this, I look like I just rolled out of bed because I did. So I went to Waco yesterday because if you didn't know this, I went to Baylor, graduated in 2019, and I'm a diehard Baylor football fan. So yesterday was the first home game of the season, therefore I was there. And guess what? I was not there by myself. My best friends in the entire world met me there, and it was like literally one of the best days I've had in a very long time. So yesterday was 9/11, and of course it's a very hard day in America, just because, you know, it's a reminder that we need to hug our loved ones a little tighter every day. And because of all the lives lost innocently, you know, and that's especially relevant right now with everything going on. But I spent the day in Waco because Baylor, Sick 'em Bears, had their very first home game of the season. So my best friend, we met in college, Carson Manka, shout out to you, girl. Carson is my best friend. She is the only person that is able to put up with me. No, I'm just kidding. But we lived together starting freshman year, lived together sophomore year, lived together my last year because I was only there 3 years, graduated. But then we are still best friends. We talk like every single day, like a billion times a day. And I didn't realize I hadn't seen her since April. And like, that's a long freaking time considering it's September. And so I didn't realize it had been that long, and neither did she, because we FaceTime every day. So it's like we talk every day. But I was like, dude, like we need to meet up or whatever. So she's like, well, Daniel, who is her husband, aka our third BFF, the three best friends that anyone could have, if you've ever seen The Hangover, not sure that reference was from. She was like, well, Daniel played football at Baylor, and so he has like passes into like this like really cool, like it's called the Letterman Lounge. I have my bracelet still on. And so she's like, let's go to the home games. Like we can eat dinner before in Letterman Lounge, things like that. I was like, okay, cool. So we got tickets, and then we went to the game, and we had really good seats. And okay, funny story. So we walk up, we got these seats. It was like section 111. So like it was down pretty close to the field. We were like 4 rows up, and there were these people that were sitting in our seats, and we like walk up, we're like, hey, these are our tickets. Like, you know, it's like really awkward to be like, hey, move, but like without being, hey, move. So we were like, sorry, like we picked these seats for a reason. So they were like, oh, no worries. Like, we'll just jump down a row. We were like, okay. They were like, yeah, the basketball team's coming. We were like, what? They were like, yeah, the basketball team's coming. We were like, okay. And for those of you who aren't like into college sports, Baylor's men's basketball team won nationals, like the 2021 nationals tournament. So they're pretty fucking badass. Excuse my French, but they are. And so we were like, oh, this is awesome, whatever. Well, it just so happens that we made the Baylor men's basketball coach's family move. We were like, oh shit. Because then Scott Drew, the coach, comes and sits right in front of us. We were like, I'm so sorry. And then the whole men's basketball team piles into the front. We were like, oh God. So yes, long story short, it was a very fun time. But the game was insane. I mean, the plays were crazy, but like we were playing our 4th string by the end. Like it was pitiful. We were up, I think it was like 52-0, and then it was like 62-0, and then they scored. So I think it ended 66-7. So it was a great day to be a Bear. I mean, it was just all around such a fun time, and they honored 9/11 so great. I mean, they had the entire student section hold up a card of names. So every single name that was lost in 9/11 was represented in the student section, which I thought was like, it gave me chills. Like I get very like emotional with patriotic stuff just because like I love America, and like I'm proud to be an American, and I always will be. And so I like seeing that like sense of like patriotism just gives me like warm fuzzies inside. So that was really, really cool to see. Yes, anyway, sorry, total tangent. You're here to hear Hootie Hurley, still literally one of my favorite people I've talked to this day. Like he is so freaking cool. Whenever I messaged him, I was like, oh shit, he cute. So I did it, and he was like, yeah, I'm down, I'm in. And I was like, okay. So we get on and I'm like, oh, this man is like gorgeous, right? I mean, he's like just like breathtaking as soon as, even on Zoom. I'm like, wow. So we really talked about like life and like we got deep into the woods. Without further ado, I know why you guys are here. So let's get into it. Here is my interview with the Hootie Hurley. All right, so we're here with Hootie Hurley. Hello, Hootie.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
I'm so good. Thank you for coming on. I'm excited to have you. Okay, first, is your real name Hootie?
So yes and no. All right, I know that's not an answer, but when I was born, my name's Harrison Hurley. But when I was born, my older brother couldn't say his R's. He called me like Harrelson, and my parents laughed, so he started calling me Hootie. So ever since I was born, my name's been Hootie, but I guess it's not my legal name. But yes, it is my name.
Good to know. So
I honestly don't even usually tell people that. I usually say, yeah, it's my name. Yeah, it's my name.
big TikToker. You're literally all over the social scene right now. I have seen you on my Feature You page or For You page or whatever the hell you want to call it, FYP, right? Like nonstop recently. How would you describe that? Do you identify as like a TikToker or are you just kind of a creator?
Well, obviously, like my start came from TikTok. Like, that's my origin. Definitely got to give my respects to TikTok. But I've very much so diversified and branched out into other entertainment industries, from hosting stuff to acting, and then recently we've getting deep into modeling, which I've really enjoyed.
Yeah, you
And
were at Hachi Mansion the other day, weren't you? I saw that on your.
yeah, it was really cool.
That's
It was
awesome.
definitely that was really cool. That was an awesome thing to be a part of, especially because like literally there's like gold in the floor in the Versace mansion. I was like, what in the world? Like you could see like gold flakes and like the stuff. I'm like, let me get a few of those. And then I also just graduated college in May. So happy to have that done. So I got my bachelor's, just awesome. And I also consult on this. I consult for a couple different companies, um, from different social media stuff to product consulting with like ring lights, tripods, stuff like that.
Hey, that's awesome. What'd you study?
Agricultural business.
Wow. What made
So
you?
it was animal science, and then I didn't like it. I got tired of sciences, and then it was well, I kind of switched around. Then I was like, well, my senior year, long story short, I'm like, all right, what am I even gonna major in? I was like, all right, we're gonna go ag business because I love the agricultural school. I went to Oklahoma State. It's an agricultural school, and the ag school had the best teachers. Like it was really like one-on-one, and like no offense to all the other schools at Oklahoma State, but like I hated taking like regular business classes because you in there with 300 students and like you know what I mean. It's like teachers don't care. It's like, but in ag school it was awesome. I loved it.
That's great. Is that does that explain the cow behind you? What is that all about?
The cow. No, so the cow, when I moved in this place a couple months back, and when I got here, I was like, I don't know about that cow. Like, I don't know about that. But then after a few weeks by, now I fuck with it heavy now. So now it's my best friend. So yes, that cow is my friend. I haven't named it, so don't ask. I'm waiting.
Why OSU?
So I got a scholarship to run track there. So before social media, track and field was my life. Like I was like that's
Track
in
star.
high school and in college. Like I was, just everything was track, training, on and on. Don't get me wrong, I partied a lot. I've always been wild, but
Love
but track always came first. So then I went from there, and then parlayed that into, I guess, social media career.
that. That's awesome. I mean, you don't see a D1 athlete every once, pop off like you have.
Now they all want to. Now they can get paid.
I know, right? That's like that's a whole ball game in itself. It's especially right now, Big 12. I went to Baylor, so Big 12.
Hey,
We're
I
playing.
almost went to Baylor. They were in my top three.
Should have. It's the best school in the nation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Riley Richards and Casey Lightfoot, two of my good buddies I pole vaulted with in high school, both went there. Casey Lightfoot was just in the Olympics and got fourth.
oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at the Baylor MBA graduation last week, and they actually brought him up, and they were like, "Yeah, so and so was in the Olympics," and they had like a whole list of like Baylor athletes. See, Baylor, you should have went to Baylor. Would have been in the Tokyo Olympics.
Right. I guess I should
Yeah.
have, but I'm just happy I'm done with college. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Congrats on graduating. I mean, I feel like you're kind of a step ahead, especially when it comes to like the business aspect of social media influencers. You don't run into a lot of creators. I guess I haven't, at least, that have completely finished college. I know a lot of people end up dropping out once they become, uber successful and
Yeah, honestly, like, I know like everybody in the social media realm for the most part, and the only people I know with college degrees or it's me, Griffin Johnson, Lauren Gibson, and I think Brent Rivera has a college degree too, because we talked about it, or he's about to graduate. Like literally, like everyone else, I might be missing someone out, so I'm sorry if I leave someone out, but I'm pretty sure that's it.
Wow. Where did Griffin go? Because
He
y'all
went
are
to Indiana
friends, right?
State.
Okay.
Say what?
Y'all are friends, right? I see you guys like
Yeah.
together a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know if you guys like went to college together or what it was, but that's, yeah. I mean, it's an accomplishment. Like, because I was listening to a podcast the other day where, like, I mean, no shade, like Noah was like, yeah, like I had, you know, this opportunity for soccer, I had this and that, but he dropped it for social media. I mean, understandably, you know, it's like you got to opportunity cost it there, right? There's the business, but that's really interesting. What would you have done, I guess, if you didn't take the social media route? Like, let's say TikTok didn't happen.
I guess I would have kept training, running track until I graduated and probably be done with it. And then I guess like I had an internship with Tyson Foods for 2 years, which is a really good internship. I was working in engineering, working on different like robotics and stuff like that, which are really cool. But you know what when I made the switch to go social media, it was like, you know, like, do I want to do this the rest of my life? And I was like, no, I don't. I don't want to work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and listen to others. And like everyone I worked with was amazing, but like that's just not what I want to do. And I'm like, you know, I'm young. Let's take a risk. Screw it. No one believed in me. And then besides my mom. And then you know, so whatever.
That's great though that you have that like support system. Is your mom on social media? Does she do
Oh
anything?
yeah. My mom, well, she doesn't really like make videos that much, but she posts on Instagram and everything like that.
Oh, that's so fun.
She's got like 30,000 followers herself.
Go mama. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's my mom's like dream. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean you have a pretty full family on social media from what I'm hearing.
Mhm.
I talked to my little cousin. I called her this morning and I told her I was having you on the show, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love him and I love his brothers." And I was like, "What? Like brothers? Like y'all are all pretty prominent on social media on the scene."
Well, Sam went first. So when Sam first started doing, was it Musically or whatever, I made fun of him. I trolled him. I was like, it's so stupid. Because I was like, at that point, I was running track in college. Like, and, you know, that was because, you know, you know how it is growing up. Like, like every guy, especially, dreams of being like a college football player, college basketball player, you know, like a college athlete. So I was like living the dream. So I was obviously like, you know, screw all that, blah, 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 blah. But I had like 12,000 followers on Instagram when I was running track because I traveled all over the country going to different meets. So I was kind of in the social media realm, but not really. So I trolled him. But then after I had a really good freshman year, and then basically like shattered my hip. I had like full hip reconstruction. They put like some rods and screws in there, everything, and it took me about like 8 months to come back. And over that 8 months, I posted some of my videos of me pole vaulting on TikTok.
Wow.
And at the same time, I was after, because it was during the summer, like I couldn't go home because I had rehab like 3 hours a day, and I couldn't get a job anywhere because like nowhere was hiring. So I got a job putting in electrical outlets for this construction company, like in the afternoons and at night. And it's only like I had to make money, like because you don't get your scholarship in summer. And
Yeah.
I was on a track scholarship, which is a quarter, and I had a half academic, but it's like there's still a lot. Like I still had to make money, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta
And
grind.
there's only so much time in the day. So at this point, I was like, damn, my little brother's making like $100 like for using someone's sound on TikTok. I'm like, this sucks. Like I want to make $100. Like I work 5 hours, 6 hours to make $100 before taxes. So I was posting my pole vaulting videos, and then like one of the first ones got like 11 million views, and then it just kind of went on from there.
You're like, what's up? Here I am. Boom, 11 million. It's
Well,
like,
it wasn't as easy as that. You know, it took months and months of grinding, and you know what I mean? Like you can get a video to pop off, but is that converting to followers? You know what I mean? It's hard to convert that. I've been like shadow banned on TikTok because I got flagged for nudity last week.
oh, what are you whipping out?
Shirtless. You know, some guys you can literally see their full package on TikTok.
Like outlined, like right there.
Dude, and I'll be in a wife beater, and they're like nudity. I'm like, I'm not a girl.
You are like, whenever I say all over, like you are with Hype House, Hype House, what was, you know, Sway House, what was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you like the bridge? Like, is that you? Is that your role? Like, how do you with them? Like, is that an actual thing or is that more TikTok-y, like where they're kind of butting heads?
So for a while, it was very real. And that's so I was in the beginning, I was in the hype house.
Yeah.
And honestly, yeah, I mean, there's a million details, but like the long and short of it is kind of like I've always done well on my own. Like, yeah, I guess when you're with a collective, you can grow more, everything like that. But I've always been able to pay my own bills, travel wherever I want to, and put food on my table. So like to me, that's the goal. So I've
Yeah.
always been able to do that. And so my first friends in social media, the first people I met was Josh Richards, Griffin Johnson, Anthony Reeves, Chase Hudson, because we were on Lights Out tour together. I don't know if you're familiar with that, like 2.5 years ago. So then when the whole house thing got brought up, it was kind of like shit. You know what I'm saying?
College.
And and then like it was fun at first, and like me and Chase are really close at the time. We're still good friends, but we don't talk as much because he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. But we're still good friends. And at the time, I really just like obviously I loved Griffin and Josh and Bryce and everybody, but I really just I feel like I belonged to the hype house at the time because with Calvin and Patrick and a lot of the other guys I was having a lot of fun with. And then when the beef started, it was real. It was real. Everyone literally hated each other.
You have beef with anyone?
Oh, I have beef with no one.
Uh-huh.
I have never had beef with anybody. Well, maybe some, but different category beef, different category of beef. But guy friend wise, I've never had any beef.
That's
and
good.
I kept it that way. And it's kind of like when it came, I left the hype house in a sense because it was like, oh, gotta pick a side. And I was like, no, I'm not picking sides. So that's, it's kind of how that all went down. But it does get kind of complicated when I hear all the drama when it was happening, like all the drama on their side and I'm mute. I mean, same with now, like past like 4 or 5 months, there's been a hell of a lot of drama. And I'm like, because I'm in like every friend group. I don't have one friend group at all. I'm in like, I don't know. It's just interesting, it's because like I'm best friends with, like Josh. And then I'm best friends with Indiana, Riley, Mads Lewis. And then I'm best friends with Jaden and Nessa and Quentin. And it's like, I just don't ever say anything, obviously both sides have opinions on things. And I just like, the way I say it is I'm a 22-year-old man with a college degree. You think I give a shit about their 18-year-old drama?
You got to stay neutral. That's the best way to do it. That's how you survive. Like that is how you survive in life. You stay neutral, you stay quiet. Obviously, you just think to yourself, a lot of profane words about people, and then you just keep your mouth shut. It's easy. People don't understand that anymore. No.
I feel like a politician. I just like speak in generals and then you don't say anything.
It's like, if you relate, I'm sorry, but I didn't say anything about you. So that's a good way to be. And that's kind of, another reason why I wanted you on here was because you do seem like a very like just neutral, well-rounded creator, right? And like you've made like a name for yourself. Like you said, like your brother started and then you were giving him shit and then you came on and you're like, shit, it's like, how do you differentiate? Do you think that, having that opportunity, let's say like you didn't end up going on TikTok, right? What was your like moon goal is what I call it. Where like, what was your, like, did you want to model and act like in the beginning, or do you think that TikTok kind of opened that?
No, like nothing against, like I'm from the South, born in Texas, moved to Arlington, Texas. And then when I was 10, we moved to Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I love like, people are great. People are so nice, but they're also judgmental as hell. And where we're, I'm in the South, like you don't go to LA. You don't want to be famous. You don't want to, like, if someone thinks they're a singer, oh, what are they doing? Oh, you want to be an artist? You're throwing your life away. It's like, you gotta, because we're raised, you're from Texas, we're raised, you graduate high school, you go to college, you go to 4-year college, because 2 years not good enough. You go to 4-year college, you don't go to trade school. You don't do anything that you make more money. Like I have friends that are plumbers making 150 grand. You know what I'm saying? Like, then I have friends that have $100,000 in debt making $35,000 a year. It's like, so sorry, I have lots of opinions about all this.
So true.
But you go to college, you graduate, you marry whoever you're dating your senior year. And then within 24 months, you're married with a kid. And then the whole cycle restarts. And then whatever company you work for, you stick there your whole life. Screw all that. Because that's what's plowed in our head. That's what our teachers teach us. like, I mean, you know, like, and I kind of just got to the point where like, kind of like very freeing when I stepped away from that. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to take risks. You know what? Like, what do I have to lose? Like, okay, I'll go back, get another job where I'll end up freaking being depressed. My coworkers are having affairs, you know, like this and that stuff that's like, I'd never want to be involved in at any point in my life. And I don't know. So I'm going, what was the original question? I just started ranting.
Like,
Yeah. Did I want to be as model acting, anything like that?
yeah.
No, never did. So I got in social media. Even when I was TikToking the first year, making YouTube videos, I was like, I just want to be a TikToker, YouTuber, stuff like that. And then like say, like I've always been very smart with my money, made good investments, stuff like that. And then really about a year ago, I was like, why am I limiting myself? Like might as well try everything. So now I am. I don't know what I said. I don't know what I want to do, but I'm trying it all.
That's the only way you'll ever figure out what you want to do. Trust me, I am from a very small town in south of Houston, like born and raised in Texas, you know what I mean? And it is a very different mentality here than it is like out in LA, which is actually why I live in Austin now, because Austin is kind of the LA of the South.
New LA?
Yeah. No, lower taxes, bigger land, it's a good place. But I totally get that. And that is a huge issue here is like, branching out of any sort of, realm of social acceptability is just taboo, right? And I think it's getting better. How long have you been out in LA? Like, when did you decide to move out there?
So I've had a place out here since like January 2020. That was when me, my buddy Calvin and Patrick were bumming 3 in a room, mattress on the floor in the hype house. And
oh my god.
And then from there I moved in. I had a buddy who had an extra room in his apartment, so I was like subleasing from him. So I did that for like 9 months. No, longer than that. I did that for like a year, I guess.
Wow.
And then because I moved in this place like 6-7 months ago. So I'd say right around 2 years, give or take. But I also had a place in Oklahoma at the same time, so I was flying back and forth, which was very expensive. But yeah, it was fun. I still had to go because 3 semesters ago I had class on Tuesday, Thursdays. So I would fly out Thursday night and I would fly back in Monday night.
Oh my god. See, you were like jet setter. Like, wow. You were dedicated. That's impressive. Wait,
Yeah.
so you just graduated in, what was it, like May? Is that
In May?
May, June? Okay. And so you were, wow. I didn't know that. That's insane.
When Corona hit, I was online, my whole senior year. But it was like my second semester, junior year, I had to fly back and forth. And then when Corona hit, it was kind of like, let's just go full time online because everybody was.
That's smart. That's really, and like nobody ever would have thought of that. Especially, did you run or you didn't run? What was your event that you didn't track?
I did the decathlon, which is a little bit of everything. 100 long jump, shot put, high jump, 400. That's day one. And every event you do, you get points. And whoever has the most points at the end wins. So that was day one. And day two is 110 hurdles, javelin, discus, pole vault, and then finished up with a mile.
Oh my God. That like hurts my bones just thinking about it. So you didn't do that then your senior year because of COVID. Is that right?
I retired from running. I say retired because I came back from the hip surgery. I was doing real well. I go throw the javelin at one of the first meets back, and I just have straight Satan in my elbow, and I partially tore my UCL when I needed Tommy John surgery. And Tommy John surgery is a 1.5 year recovery, and I mentally at that time could not handle another, because I had 3 major surgeries in 3 years. And I was just like, I can't handle another surgery.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. Yikes. So you were back and forth from Oklahoma, and then whenever you like fully moved out, or do you live by yourself? Like, did you get your own place, or do you have roommates? Like, what was that situation?
I have like 2 roommates really, but like our basement, one of my roommates is a DJ and the other one's a comedian. And then our basements are the DJ's studio, but he has another house with his girlfriend. So he's only here like a couple days a week. And then my other roommate, Ashwin, he's a comedian. He's just across the hall. So it's like me and him kind of got the crib to ourselves. That's pretty nice.
And you guys have that creative bunch, which is always nice to kind of surround yourself with, especially when you're making content.
And like one thing, like nothing against all my social media friends, but like, Like I like to go out. I like to have fun. And if I'm with everybody, I go out too much. And both my roommates, they're cool. They go out, but like they're like 32, 33. They're older. They've been in the game for, a while. And like it's kind of nice to come home to like a home environment where I know I can cook, I can clean, like I could leave $1,000 out on the kitchen table for a month and no one's gonna touch it. You don't have to worry. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
but when I've lived in other creator environments, you got so many people coming through the house, like 10 people you've never met before coming through the house every day. It's like you never feel at home.
That's tough. I mean, I get it. College roommates were kind of like that for me. Not necessarily, I mean, to that level, we'll say.
Mhm.
But yeah,
But no one's ever stole. No, like no one's ever like stolen anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not calling anyone stealers. But I would just use that as an example that like you don't have to worry.
right. It's more of like they're more mature. They're kind of pushed up. They're past that crazy party phase. A lot of the people, like we were talking about before, are a lot younger, I feel like, or younger mentality wise. Cause now TikTok's been around 2 years ish, like massively.
Mhm.
So it's like, some of them stopped high schooling, like, late and just didn't get that immersive college life like you did, I did. You kind of got to go rage a little bit to get it out of your system.
You do. And shit, I thought I was over it. I thought I was over it until about like 6 weeks ago. Like,
Mhm.
I just started going out again. I'm getting my work done. I'm being good, but like it's one thing that's so important that people don't realize, and especially like a lot of my friends back in Arkansas, they're like, dude, you're going out like 3-4 nights a week, blah, blah, blah. But like, first off, I'm not drinking every night. And second off, that's how I make money. Like connections. Like every time I go out, like I was at Hyde the other night. It was Taylor Holder's birthday. Like it was a couple days after, but like we just went to the club to celebrate then. And like I met these two guys and blah blah blah. They work in the same industry, and then we've got a call set up tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? It's like no matter where you are, you meet people, and like I don't know if we're gonna make money together, but usually that's how it works.
Yep. You have the business mindset that is like incredibly important. I try to explain that to a lot of people, we'll put it that
Mhm.
way, they don't understand the grind and they're like, you're willing to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, look, I go out at 6th Street, right? And I'm with a bunch of
There you
college kids.
sit. Sorry.
Mhm. But then you hit the West 6th Street, which is like the business people. And I'm like, they're like, why do you go to West versus Dirty? And I'm like, what do you think I'm going to get from, freshman in high school or sorry, freshman in college?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're gonna get
yeah.
that from freshman in high school.
Jesus. Freshman in college, we'll go back there. And
Both, because both are there.
both are there. Literally, you can walk in there when you're like 15 and they'll be like, hey, what's up? Like, come on in.
I ain't gonna lie, I definitely was in there at 15 with a fake ID.
I was too. I didn't even have a fake ID. I just pushed my boobs up and was like, I'm here. And they're like, come
Little
on
pretty
in.
girl trick.
Yeah, literally, right? No, it was a it's one of those atmospheres you have to be smart about, like you said, like, and take care of your body, take care of your mind, like, that's a big thing, especially with modeling. Like we saw the abs, you take care of yourself. What is your do you still like have like a strong like workout regimen? What's your day to day? What do you do?
Dude, no. So I actually got fat last year. Not
Shut up.
really like fat, but I gained like 15, 20 pounds. And
Really?
yeah, so I was like been real fit my whole life. And then when like I was eating like 4 or 5 meals a day because they made a lot of food for us when we were running track, like amazing food. And then we were working out like 6 hours a day. So like I had to eat a lot. And when I stopped running track, I kept working out. So like I stayed fit and I kept eating a lot. And then when the gyms closed, school closed, everything, there's nothing to do.
You
So me and
eat.
my friends started, I mean, every day. I mean, not every day. Okay, often. Next thing you know is like, so then we were like, I had like a little group of friends in Stillwater because I was staying in Stillwater for like the first part of the pandemic. And like every day we play have like beer dye tournaments, we'd have beer pong tournaments, like different stuff like that. We played basketball, we played football, like any game event that we could bet on or do, you know what I mean? Like we would play.
Mm,
And everything usually involved some beer. So then I gained a Corona 20. I
yep.
definitely gained a Corona 20. And it wasn't like anywhere else. I was wearing oversized shirts and like hoodies and stuff. You couldn't really tell. But like, cause my arms and everything still looked the same, but I had a beer gut most definitely. And it took me like 3 months. I finally got rid of it. I'd say about like 2 months ago.
the beer gut will get you. That's where you got to switch to tequila. Tequila's a lot lower calorie. It's a lot more fun and takes a lot less. Just putting that out there.
I've switched over to the tequila vodka. Tequila at the club because it's free and it's in front of me. But if I'm making a drink at home, it's vodka.
That's what my mom does too. I'm like, ugh, can't do it anymore. Not after college. Not anymore. Tequila all the way. Whenever you were kind of, I'm just gonna say it. You were kind of canceled, right? For a little bit. You were a little canceled. Okay. So let's get into this part. So when was that like in your realm of like growth for social media? Like when did you reach that? I mean, it's kind of like a trophy. Like you have to be canceled to be somebody, right? So
yes. So that was kind of like, that was when I wasn't posting or like much at all. Like I was just kind of like just booling. To be honest, like at the end of last year, I wasn't too worried. I had like put in perspective, I had a decent amount of money saved up, and I was like, all right, I'm good for like 6 months, 7 months. I can just chill, do whatever I want, like not make videos if I don't want to. And that was what I was doing. And then I was making still some here and there. And then that trend, so the Larae Trend, the baddest bitch says something, whatever it was. And I was actually with some of my ex-girlfriend's girlfriends, like when that came out. And I was like, yo, like, should I do this? Like, would that be funny? They were like, oh, you so should do that. It's been a year, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And like, I never went public with why we broke up or anything like that. Like, I took the high road through everything. And
smart man.
there's no point even saying anything else because I'm gonna like, it's just I don't do drama for the most part. So then like her friends like, yeah, do it. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. So I call some of my friends. They're like, oh, you got to do it. It'd be funny. So I thought that's funny as hell. I post this video of us like being like real flirtatious and like we kiss at the end.
I thought a bitch you sold us like the Triller said something. I thought a bitch you lost the baddest bitch said something. I thought a bitch you lost the baddest bitch said something. I thought a bitch you lost the baddest bitch said something.
And saying like, inferring like, oh, like she let me get away or whatever, you know, however the trend works. And then like, it was nothing at first. And then like, she got real mad. And I thought she think it's funny. Because I'm like, it's been a year. You're 25 years old. I'm 22. Like,
why was she mad? Like, what was she mad because you like told people, or was she mad because of the like, what was it?
Definitely wasn't because I told people. It was because she said I didn't have her consent. But then again, like she took all those videos and pictures, so I don't know how that works.
You're in the pictures.
I know. It's 2021. Like no one has any ownership of, you know, okay, I'm also a very respectful person. I would never post or do anything that would ever actually like harm anyone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first, I don't even have anything on my phone that would like, even harm or incriminate anybody. Like, I don't take any risks.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Like, I just think like that's just my humor. Like, I think that's hilarious. Like, someone did that to me, I'm like, oh, whatever. Like, and it's not like, shoot, I don't know. Like, what's your thoughts on it?
All right. So I just read up on it today. My cousin told me about it actually. So shout out to Reagan. No, my thoughts on it are it's extremely ridiculous. First and foremost, if she can't understand that you're a creator, and this is no shade, I don't know who she is. Like, that's, you know, that's on me not to get canceled on that part, but you know, I'm 23 in corporate America. So, yeah. You know, when it comes to just the overall situation, right? If it was just like a day-to-day thing and she were to get mad that you posted, you know, if it was like a bad picture of her or something like that, I could understand. But like, okay, you're a creator. Like you said, it was like a year ago. And
2 years ago now.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. But whenever you post, it's like a year ago, it was like 2 years ago now. And then for like people to come out and say like the consent is ridiculous. Like, and people were like, you didn't have consent. What kind of consent do you need? Like financial consent? Like it wasn't a paid promotion. Like, no, that's ridiculous. You should be able to post what you want to post. And that is so not cancelable. Like, I can't even explain how frustrating that it's sensitivity now in society that I'm just like, get over it. Like, it's a joke.
Yeah. And like, to be like, I obviously, if you read up on, you see like a lot of our other friends like Karina Koff and Alex Wasabi and a lot of other big names who tweet me like, F you, Hootie Hurley, this and that. And I just trolled like, all of them back or whatever. And a lot of them are calling me. And like, I had some of my friends with me and they were calling me, blowing me up. And I was like, this is funny as hell. So then Never mind. At one point, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a YouTube video and expose her friends that told me it was funny to post and okay to post. And then those same friends that are tweeting at me on Twitter, trying to cancel me, jumping on the hype train. And I'm like, you know what? I have all of this right here. And I go, you know what? I could post this, you know, get a couple million views, whatever, but I really just don't care. At that point, I just didn't care, and I wouldn't do it again today. I'd say whatever. You can talk shit on my name, whatever. Like anybody that has half a brain will be like, well, what did he do wrong?
Yep.
You know, so like if those people get mad at me, I don't want them to follow me anyway. Don't follow me.
You tell them. No, I agree. I think that's ridiculous, and that is not canceled. I got canceled on Twitter. I don't have a Twitter anymore, but like it's one of those things where it's like people don't have a sense of humor anymore. I was just listening to a podcast, actually Josh Richards' podcast with Dave Portnoy, BFFs. I was listening to it and they were talking about that, where it's like people just don't understand, like you have to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like good intentions are there, like nothing harmful was there. You know what I mean? Like stupid in my opinion. But I just wanted to get your take on that because I was curious. I thought it was ridiculous.
Yeah, whatever. Well, you know, then again, it's like if anyone feels passionate about something, like you got to respect that. If anyone believes or is super passionate about something, I obviously respect that. But you know, sometimes you just have difference in opinions.
Yeah, and people need to respect other people's opinions. It's how the world goes round. It's okay. Lack of respect. We'll get there eventually, hopefully, as people. But now, okay, so you said you broke up. That was like 2 years ago. Where are you at now? Are you single, boy? Is it singy for the summer? Like, what's going on?
Yes, I'm single. Yes, I'm single right now. And I had a girlfriend back in Arkansas for I think we were together like 5 or 6 months, and we broke up like two and a half months, 3 months ago, whenever it was. But she was awesome, great. It wasn't like a breakup. It was like, yo, like Corona's over for the most part. Like school's back to normal, and you know she goes to Arkansas, and so like you know like I think it's probably best if we just, you know, if we're meant to be, we'll find each other again. And, you know, and that's kind of one of those things. Like, we're still friends, everything, you know, like, we don't really talk anymore. But obviously wish her the best, you know, love her family, everything like that. But, yeah, there's that. But then recently I just kind of, I don't know. I don't really want, I don't know what I want. I'm always open-minded, but I just like, you know, having fun, collabing with lots of people, you know, like, definitely met a lot of people.
Yeah.
See now that sounds bad. No, I'm a good boy, but see now you're just making it look like I'm not.
No, look at you, the eyes, the hair. You're, you know, obviously girls probably like flock to you, especially with your new dance moves that you're gonna start putting out again. I mean, it's understandable anywhere. I mean, even if you weren't on TikTok and you weren't a creator, I mean, I'm sure when you were a track star, I'm sure girls still flock to you. So you know, totally understandable. And
well, thanks for hyping me up.
Anytime. Are you on dating apps?
No, I've tried them. Of course, I've tried them. And who hasn't? If you haven't, you're lying. But I feel like it's just like DMs. You know, like, all right, oh, like this girl's really pretty. Like, okay, cool, we're DMing or But what I do, like, I've only messaged, like, I've only done it a couple of times on Tinder and Bumble. Bumble because I had a deal with them.
They pay good.
Yeah, it was great. But love that company. Let's work together again, Bumble.
And me too.
Yeah. But I've never, it's like kind of like you text for a few days or Snapchat, you know, end up Snapchat and then it's over. So it's like, that's a waste of time. You know, nothing's going to happen from that. And so I don't know. I just kind of like, you know, like I said, I'm active. I go out a lot. I meet a lot of people. But yeah, I'm single.
Single?
I've been flirting, but I'm single.
Hey, you have to flirt. If you're not flirting, you're not doing your job. So
You're
that's
right.
in any realm. But okay, any last, this sounds bad, any last words or like any last pieces of advice, anything? What are you doing? You have your line I saw on your Insta. What else, you know, what do you want to promote? What you got going on?
I'm not really selling any clothes right now. I've got that on the back burner. It's a lot of work. And you know, it's kind of, to be honest, I feel like I got to plug anything. I just plug, you know, my Instagram, my TikTok at Hootie Hurley. That's where I'm most active. And I've been posting a lot on Snapchat. I've been posting a lot of thirst trap stuff, and I've been hitting that spotlight like every day. So I've been having fun with it because I guess Snapchat isn't the most censored. But for the most part, you know, just my normal socials and just I'm gonna keep making videos and different acting gigs and modeling gigs and, you know, it's kind of the usual.
Hey, I've loved having you on, and I appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. Loved this. This was definitely fun. And now let's see if we said anything that gets us canceled again.
Okay, so tell me that was not like the absolute cutest. He's just so cute, so sweet, like such a great head on his shoulders. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. I really enjoyed like talking with Hootie and getting to know him a little bit. And like now we like follow each other on Instagram. Like his mom followed me, so shout out. She is so sweet, so excited. So you know, I feel very lucky to have been able to interview him and get to know him. Look, my mom is calling me, even though she knows. Look at this picture. If you're watching this on video, I have a picture of my mom, or 4 others, it says. She's jumping onto my bed. She's gonna kill me. But yeah, I always have very interesting pictures of my caller IDs. But anyway, yeah, so this interview is super fun. Next week, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a shocker for everybody. But I'm gonna let that settle. For you guys to find out why it's gonna be a shocker, make sure you're following me on Instagram at @thekendall11. If you're watching this, I also just noticed that my eyelash is coming off. That's because I slept in them. So sorry. We have a lot coming up. Next has been like popping off, so thank you guys. Remember, share this on your stories, on whatever, and I will be happy to share, duet, whatever. And I just, you know, I appreciate you guys listening, and I'm super excited to keep putting out podcasts every Sunday. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions, any topics you want me to cover. DM me on Instagram. That's probably the easiest way, or DM at the next pod. That way I definitely see the messages. So follow me, follow Hootie. I'm gonna tag him and everything. He is, like I said, one of my favorite guests to this day. So give him love. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and come back next week to hear the next pod. Have a great week. Bye.